In today's video, we're going to talk about the next up-and-coming Toho. I know it's not Monsterverse, but I class all Kaiju, all Toho, all Monsterverse stuff in the same genre. So recently we got the trailer for Godzilla -1, and in today's video, we're going to talk about that because this trailer is freaking huge. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice you hear if you're new anime? Subscribe to never miss any of the Monsterverse, Kaiju, Toho, Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that I personally try to cover by myself on a daily basis. Now, if you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. Also, if you could let me know how freaking insane does this trailer look. And also, if you could check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also, if you could check us out on x.com. Yeah, it's actually Twitter, but it's called x.com as well. WarStewG, because someone freaking stole my freaking handle. And also, this is the first time I've actually added this into intro. If you could, follow us on TikTok. I don't actually post, but if you could follow me, it's WWarStew, because someone freaking nicked my handle on there as well. So as you know, we did put the plot leak video out for Godzilla -1 a long time ago, and it seems this trailer somewhat affirms part of the movie. Maybe. All right, let's break it down. So depending on how the editor, depending on how the editor myself edits this, I should have the footage overlay as I'm talking about it, as long as there's no copyright issue. So this trailer is so realistic and so epic. The CGI. See, what's interesting about this trailer is it's actually the VFX is done by the same person that directed it. VFX written and directed by Nakashi Yasama. I've probably said that wrong, but he writ it, directed it, and did the VFX, and this is more realistic than any Monsterverse, King of Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong. It is so realistic. I don't even know how they've pulled it off. And what is also a great thing, right at the end of the trailer, I don't know if it's coming out in England, but it's getting an IMAX release in Japan and in America. So hopefully we get an IMAX or limited cinema run in the UK. I know the UK is a small place, but when it comes to box office numbers, the UK pulls no punches. Like, the UK is very good for the cinema world. So we're not going to break down every single part of the trailer, but it is fascinating how they've made the big G look. So the trailer starts off with, I believe, what will be the main female lead saying, "Is that Godzilla?" Now this tells me that either she knows about Godzilla, Godzilla's been here before, because she says, "Is that Godzilla?" Not going, "Yo, what the freaking hell's that monster?" She's like, "Yo, is that Godzilla?" And you hear him stamping on the ground. The big G himself is finally never gonna get a solo movie, but at least we can have him appear. Personally, I don't think he's gonna appear massively overall if the plot leak is real, but we don't know. I mean, parts of it looked like it's real, but it's the side effects. We hear Big G scream and literally eats the city. But the most significant thing is the trailer screams fear, screams anarchy, screams manic. He's literally destroying buildings around him. And we get to see the male lead. God, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. So I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name because I'll probably butcher it again. But when Godzilla stomps into the ground, it literally is shaking. It's taking bites out of the floor, which is more realistic a physics point of view. We didn't see that in Godzilla versus Kong. We didn't see that in King of Monsters. It's insane how they've done that. I don't know if that's going to play out throughout the whole trailer, but it's just pure anarchy. And when he stomps into the ground, you literally see human beings flying all over the place. Why wasn't this the case in Godzilla x Kong or King of the Monsters or the first Godzilla movie inside the Monsterverse? It's absolutely freaking insane. And no wonder Twitter, x.com. I know I'm a few days late. This came out a few days ago, but your boy WarStew always gets around to everything. It's the problem with trying to cover everything by myself. It's hard sometimes. So it's just absolute freaking anarchy. You see people hanging on for bare life. I've never been this hyped from one trailer that doesn't really give away much, but it does. Japan is under attack. They really are. In a post-war, Japan's new terror rises. It's Godzilla. Will the devastated people be able to survive alone and fight back? Find out soon, December the 1st. It's only a 1 minute-ish trailer, but it shows you so much anarchy. The VFX, the CGI from a Toho movie. This is better than what Marvel and DC can do. And the VFX was done by the same person that wrote it and directed it. Yo, Marvel, yo, DC, hire this guy, seriously. So let's continue. Post-war Japan had lost everything. So there is supposed to be 2 Titans in this movie, allegedly. You do see a glimpse of, right at the end of the trailer, of Godzilla either having a missile fired at him because he's like all fiery. But as we said in the plot leak, there was supposed to be another kaiju in this movie, even some kind of spoilerary, maybe another Godzilla, or maybe oxygen destroyers mentioned as possibly being in this movie. It gives away a lot. Obviously, we know the US government have a huge part to play in this movie. Maybe that's why Godzilla looks mashed at the end, because they've fired a missile on him. Or maybe it's another kaiju. We don't know, but it's insane. The whole city looks freaking wrecked. And that's how it should be. You know, when Marvel, or when the Avengers wreck it, like New York, you see it. But we've never honestly seen, or at least to my knowledge, we've never really seen a kaiju destroy a city properly, to the point where when Godzilla's stomping around, people are flying all over the place. Yeah, we've seen glimpses of it in Godzilla vs. Kong, sure. And glimpses of it, sure, in King of Monsters. But even the music in the trailer, hopefully I'll be able to play it over the top, the actual trailer, and show you it. But it's absolute anarchy. We see a scene on the beach. Why were we called out here? And it looks like Godzilla's potentially been there before. And there is one little part where there's a documentation that comes up saying, microfilm by the NBBSO Naval District Washington Micro Section. It's just small details here and there. The government is not telling the public the truth. Somebody's got to do it. So this does, I'm not going to go over the plot leak. Everyone is dead. You're a disgrace. I'm paraphrasing of what's coming up on the screen. But the most significant, that monster shot is right there. Will never forgive us. Survive and fight. Right at the end, we see Big G looks bashed up a little bit. But the most significant part is when he looks all bashed up and looks fiery. The last shot, he's screaming. Is it another kaiju? Is it oxygen destroyer? Is it war stew? No, it's not obviously going to be war stew. But I believe the plot leak that we kind of put out there, but it was already on the internet. I believe either a missile's just hit him or another kaiju, or he's just about to do atomic freeze breath or fire breath. I don't know. I'm spitballing. But right at the end of the trailer, it does say in theaters, December the 1st, 4DX, IMAX. So it's getting a proper run. Toho Co-Limited. So I believe parts of the trailer do confirm parts of said plot leak. Because the funny thing is, Big G is caught in the oxygen destroyer blast. But the second awkward looking Zilla takes the hit for its breath and sacrifices itself and leaves the scared traditional Godzilla alive to star in a new film series. Interesting. So I'm just reading this article where they're actually sourcing me. Could be the beginning of the new era of the Godzilla history. Possibly the most massive step towards the post-Shin there has been active on both sides of the Pacific. But Godzilla Minus One is Toho's first blockbuster in almost a decade. Their alleged plans and hopes are hinged of this new movie being successful, and it really looks like they're trying to do that. So I will link the video now, but I think it's actually really funny reading the plot leak where it says, a different leak pertaining to Bandai figure War Stew throws into his coverage seems to confirm a second Godzilla, which is wild as you can imagine. The spoiler promises 2 kaijus will fight. One will fight place at sea. The oxygen destroyer is also mentioned, and consider the film is being called a remake. This means what you think. The second vocal point of Minus One is the weapon invented and the whole clan, and he has mother and father, both deceased, and his sister, who sees life a little differently than him vengefully. The main star blames America for the destruction of Japan and the creation of Godzilla, but he works for them. Interesting. It obviously says the US government funds research that produced the oxygen destroyer according to the plot breakdown. So a level of Oppenheimer-esque political intrigue may figure into the storyline. Interesting. Like I said, we will leave the link to the actual plot leak that we did. This trailer looks freaking insane. I know my North mythology, I know my lore about the Godzilla universe and the Toho stuff isn't the best, but Come on now. I just cover stuff that I like the look of, and this movie looks freaking insane. So like always, guys, drop everything down below. I think this trailer does confirm the plot leak. So like always, guys, check it out on Instagram at WashStreet to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, OSTG, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.